To give you a bit of background to the Mendi, it was built in 1905 by the British for the British West African trade. And its namesake Mendi is actually from the Mende people of Sierra Leone. In 1916, the UK Admiralty chartered it for use in the First World War.
On the 21st of February 1917, at approximately 5 o'clock in the morning, the SS Mendi was on its way to France to join the battle, and it was hit midships by the SS Darrow, and the SS Mendi sank within 20 minutes, killing hundreds and hundreds of people. The reason why it's here today is because this is the site where the men of the SS Mendi were billeted on just above where I'm sitting, and they left from this site to march down to the docks to board the SS Mendi and go to the UK. So this is where it all started.
823 men were actually on board the Mendi. What happened was these men came from all regions of Southern Africa, where they were billeted, so they were trained here and they spent their last night here. They then would have boarded the ship and left for West Africa, where they quickly docked and mounted a gun, and then they headed for Plymouth in the UK. After reaching Plymouth, they crossed the English Channel during a foggy night, and the morning of the 21st of February 1917, the SS Darrow, which was a British Royal steamer, struck the ship on its starboard side and it sank quite quickly. So the ship went down with the 823 men of the 5th Battalion on board. Of those, 607 were troops that were part of the Sand Labour Corps. They went down, along with 9 white officers and 31 crew of the Mendi. In total, it was 617 of those that were South African, and they all drowned in that event. But these men showed a lot of bravery at the time, with most of them not even being able to swim. And there was an interpreter at the time. From the survivors' accounts, from oral history, it is reported that he said the following. His name was Isaac Wachope Dioba, and he said, "Be quiet and calm, my countrymen. What is happening now is what you came to do. You are going to die, but that is what you came to do. Brothers, we are drilling the death drill. I, Xhosa, say you are my brothers, Swazi, Pondos, Basotho. So let us die like brothers. We are the sons of Africa. Raise your war cries, brothers, for though they made us leave our assahais in the kraal, our voices are left with our bodies." So this event speaks to men who showed a lot of bravery at the time, and is therefore that memorializing the wrecking of the Mendi is so important from a Southern African history and heritage perspective.
The original memorial was not where it stands today. The original memorial was 3 meters away underneath the tree over here. And it was on a little koppie. And it was not as elaborate as this. It was full of grass and very overgrown. So I approached the university's Property Services and Properties department to get some finance to redesign and build the monument as you see it today. And they appointed 2 architects, Trevor Thorold and his wife Jackie, to design this monument as we see it today. Once we had built and finished this memorial, and that was in early 2014, we had to rededicate it because we had moved it ever so slightly or whatever, because that's what we have to do. So the rededication took place in September of 2014. And we had representatives of the diplomatic corps here. We had the Vice Chancellor at the time as our guest speaker, as well as the Director General of the Military Veterans Department. And we had a really big big show here. All the military people. The Gunners Association got involved with this because we found this little memorial here on the grounds, and we decided to adopt it and approach the university with the knowledge that the university understood that we were part of the university as a military regiment during the 60s, and we walked with them along this path. We were approached by the South African Heritage Resource Agency with the idea to declare this a national heritage monument or a national heritage site. And we've come up with a memorandum of understanding, which includes the University of Cape Town. So the three of us, the three organizations, are custodians of this particular memorial.
Initially, when we started to investigate the declaration of the Mendi Memorials, we looked at doing a serial nomination, which would have involved identifying and speaking about the significance of all of the Mendi Memorials across the country, of which there are at least 6 or 7. In the process of doing this research, we did learn a lot about all of the memorials, but it came out that the one that's situated here in Rosebank is really the one that's worthy of that national heritage site status. This is the one place where they all came together, they received their basic training, they received their equipment, and the last night that these men spent on South African soil was in this place before they got on board the ship and set off on their mission. And people felt that in order to kind of augment the significance and what the story of the wrecking of the Mendi really means for South Africa, we needed to recognize the contribution of the South African people to the World War I effort. And this was a really significant event, and in the same vein, this was a really significant place for that conversation to be rooted.
When Matty Parler, the sculptor of this fine memorial, put together the concept, his view was that the sculpture would be part of the natural environment. When the memorial was developed into international standard, it was placed on a plinth. Matty's friends, when he was murdered, also placed small stones around the memorial in his memory. The stones here were collected by the men of Kapano residence with myself and placed on the memorial to represent the bodies of the men of the Mendi who never returned. Lieutenant General Andrew Jamangile, who was the Chaplain General of the South African National Defence Force, placed the first stone on the memorial in memory of his late great-grandfather, whose name is on the memorial. We reunited the spirit of all the stones laid by the members of the public, the Defence Force, and families who attended the memorial. And the Padre at the time used the small vial of water to sprinkle across the stone as a ceremonial and spiritual way of reunification to bring together the spirits of the men.
When we took it over, we cleaned it up, and we had our first memorial service in around 2011 when we started this thing. And ever since then, we've had a memorial service. We've held a memorial service here every single year. The public are welcome, but the public must remember that they're on the University of Cape Town's grounds, so obviously adhere to all the security protocols. But yes, they are welcome to come and have a look. They are welcome to take photographs, and they are welcome to attend our memorial services, which we hold in the middle of February every single year. So they are very welcome to do that. This is about educating people as to why it is here and who it represents.